Hello there, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Baby Brigade. Welcome back to our devotionals. Mornings with Jesus, 2022, 365 devotions. So today's Thursday, January 6th. First we'll read the Bible verse and then we'll read the inspirational story. He said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." 2 Corinthians 12:9. Here's the story. My Guidepost editor invited me to write about my divorce, both to help others and to explain my name change. I agreed because our new readers might be curious, and I'm always motivated by a desire to comfort and encourage others. But the divorce is still new, plus how would I share about it in 300 words or less? After taking time to think about what I wanted to say, I can say this with joyous certainty. Jesus' grace is indeed sufficient. When I was weak, He was strong. He alone is powerful. Jesus' grace was sufficient when I insisted on marrying, even though God said no. Sufficient to keep me in a marriage that was difficult from the onset. Sufficient to enable me to grow in dry and rocky soil. Sufficient to give me 2 wonderful children I thought I'd never have. Sufficient for them to continue to flourish despite the divorce. Sufficient to forgive myself and my ex-husband for our considerable failures. Sufficient to know we can all have a good future when we keep Jesus as our focus. Sufficient to have a kind, cooperative relationship with my ex-husband now. Sufficient to see him pouring out blessing upon blessing, grace upon grace. Jesus is more than able, more than willing, and more than enough. And none of it depends on my goodness. Hosanna. Isabella Complantaro, the same lady that wrote the other one. Faith step. Reflect on a difficulty in your life. Invite Jesus to help you see His amazing grace. Having gone through divorce myself, this really hits me. It really does. Although I had to move 2 states away to get away from mine because it was abusive. And there was no sharing of my children. I have no doubt that even though at the time I was not looking to Jesus for help, I was not walking that walk with Jesus at that time, I have no doubt that He was with me, or that He was looking over me and my boys. Will was only 7. Johnny was barely a year old. But we survived and thrived. It was a struggle for a very long time. But I raised my boys by myself. I say by myself, but I guess the good Lord looked out for us because He had to have been looking out for us, because there were so many times that we could have been homeless or without food that we weren't. So, yeah, this one gets me. This one really gets me because it's really so close to my own situation. But if it speaks to any of you, please let me know. If I can pray for any of you, if you have special prayer requests, you don't have to give details in the comments. If you have special prayer requests, you don't have to share whatever that thing you need prayer for is. If it's too private, I don't mind. You just say, "Amanda, could you please just pray for me? I have things going on. I just need a little prayer, extra prayer." And I will make sure to mention you by name when I pray. You don't have to tell me why I'm praying for you. I don't mind just mentioning you by name when I pray. Because when I pray for my subscribers, I just pray for you in a blanket prayer. I just say, Lord, whatever's going on in my subscribers' life, I pray that you just be with them. But if you all have an individual prayer need, please don't hesitate to mention it in the comments and just say, I have an individual need. Could you please mention me by name when you pray? So you can have that extra little, mention in a prayer. Maybe you don't have anybody close to you that could pray for you, that you just, that you need that extra support. I'm here for you. I will be more than happy to mention you in my prayers, because that's what I'm here for. So, anyway, I'm not a preacher. I'm just a fellow Christian. Not even a perfect Christian. I still find myself cursing. I listen to music that probably the average Christian wouldn't listen to. I watch movies that people, the average Christian probably doesn't listen to. But, I'm not perfect by any stretch. But I'm never going to be perfect. But I can at least try to be better. So, anyway, hopefully you found this helpful in your life. And hope everybody's having a good morning. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.